Well, the newest 1.03 update for Elden Ring has given us a couple of nerfs, but also it's made some of the coolest weapons in the game even more powerful. Now that the game actually scales to arcane, there's two specific arcane scaling weapons that are now ridiculously good. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you exactly where to get both of these weapons, and we'll get into why they are so god dang amazing. Now the first weapon we're going to be talking about is Mogwyn's Sacred Spear. This thing requires 27 arcane, 24 strength, and 14 dex, with an attribute scaling of C for strength and C for arcane at +8. I don't have this to +10 yet, but hopefully pretty soon. And now we've got a passive blood loss buildup of 76. But the skill on here called Bloodborne's Ritual is stupid good. You just put the spear to the ground and make everything around you explode in blood. It's got to be one of the coolest abilities in Elden Ring, and you know, it's woo. You actually get quite a bit of poise to this, but the amount of stun that it does just locks up everything around you and just completely devastates everything. Now what's cool about spears is you can actually use like a shield and then still block and stab around the shield. There's actually some cool things you can do with this in another build that I've been working on, but it's just a really cool combination, and just even without the main skill, this does a ton of poise damage and just damage in general. It's just a magnificent weapon. Now, to be able to get Mogwyn's Spear, you're going to need to unlock Mogwyn's Palace and defeat a boss. Now, I do have a previous video on how to get here. I'll leave linked in the description or in the top right corner of this video, but I will still be showing you how to defeat this boss incredibly easy without having any skill at all. Now, once we're here, we just need to run through this particular area. You can pick up the map from the dead guy on the ground, and really it's just a matter of avoiding all of the fights along the path here until, well, you can pick up these Sites of Grace as well. Once you pick up the Site of Grace, then we can continue going through. Don't bother fighting all of these guys. They are literally just going to explode on you. And it's just not worth it. Just, oh, don't get stuck in the middle of them either, because that would not be fun. Just run right past all of them. Hopefully you don't get stuck. And then we're going to go... Man, are they like worshiping that blob? We're just going to keep rolling right through until we get to this cave. Now you're going to need a light, whether you have a lantern or a torch, whatever your heart desires or whatever you have. And then we're going to run in through here. And then we're going to take the right turn once we can. It's a little bit of a maze to get through here. And we're going to go to the right. Pick this up and we can keep running right past. We're going to follow these stairs up through here. At which point we're going to keep turning right. And I'm going to grab this just because it's good to have those ghost gloveworts. And we've pretty much made it out. We've got the exit right up through here, and we've almost made it to the location for all of the Rune Farming. Just outside, there is a Site of Grace for you to be able to get. And then there's two things we can do here. The first thing we're going to do is get 500,000 runes very quickly. Now, I'm going to go into my equipment. I'm going to make sure I equip the gold scarab, which increases your XP gained by 20%. And then I'm also going to go into my inventory, and I'm going to make sure I have one of these gold pickled fowl feet available for me to be able to use. I would like to equip it. Once you have your golden scarab and your gold pickled fowl foot equipped, we can kind of start with the rest of this process. We're going to cheese the boss that is available back here, and it's incredibly easy to defeat with this method. It's only going to take well, it's going to take a very short amount of time. Once the elevator is up, we need to do two things. We need to purposefully die first. So if you have a lot of runes at this point, just make sure to use them if you can, but you'll be able to pick them up anyways. We only need to purposefully die once for this to work. So we're just going to run in, we're going to get the cutscene, and then we're going to die. Now, obviously, if you want, you can just try and kill this guy on your own, and it'll give you a lot of XP, but I want to show the actual way to be able to cheese it. Quit running from me. There we go. Now, when we die, we're going to choose to revive at the Stake of Marika. That's going to get us to spawn right back where we were. Now that you're back out here, all you need to do is just take off all of your equipment. I know I just told you to equip the gold scarab. We're going to re-equip that here in a second. But we're going to actually glitch over this wall now. The reason we needed to die first was to enable that ghost wall or whatever it's called. So that way the boss won't engage us when we get in there. Now we have a long gap that we need to like sprint jump over. But since we're standing in the same place, what we need to do is we need to enable sprint without having the back step or dodge happen. So that means you need to jump in the air. And then when you jump in the air, you're going to hit the sprint button and keep it held. So that way, now when you land, you have the sprint button enabled, and then you can jump across. Now, it's going to take a few times before you get the hang of it, but as long as you get that sprint button enabled, you should be able to make this jump. Now, once you're in here, you just do the jump, make sure you activate the sprint, and go right for this corner right at the edge, and you should be fine. Now, once you're up here, all we have to do is just fall into the area. And what's super cool about this is the boss will not engage you at all. Now, do make sure you have your golden scarab equipped at this point in time. Just verify that it's there. And then before the boss dies, you're just going to want to pop your gold pickled foul foot. But the boss is just going to sit here, doesn't even know you're here, and you can just murder it to your heart's content. It's going to take a little while, because obviously he's got a lot of HP. But just burn him to the ground and we'll get a ton of runes. And just make sure you have your gold-footed thing activated. And when he dies, you're going to get a massive amount of runes. We'll also get the Great Rune, the Bloodlord stuff, and we got 655,000 runes. Now, once you've defeated Mogwin, just head back to the Round Table's hold. We're going to run to the back room here where there's a maiden sitting down on this bench. We're going to actually be able to take that remembrance and we can unlock a new weapon from that. And the one we want to unlock is Mogwin's Sacred Spear, because this thing is amazing. Now, once you have the spear, all you got to do is equip that bad boy and press L2 to your heart's content to murder everything around. Pretty much the best thing ever. Now, next up, we've got the Rivers of Blood Katana. Many of you probably know this one, but it was broken for a while until today. And now that it scales with Arcane, this is the coolest weapon in the game, and it actually works now. Now, if you've never used the Rivers of Blood Katana, it's pretty awesome, okay? It takes a little bit of FP to use, but if you hit L2, you'll do like this cross slash, but then if you hit L2, and then hit it again, you'll do a cross slash and a cross slash. But then if you do it 3 times, you get all of these attacks all tied into one. And it does so much damage. Now, to be able to get to the Rivers of Blood Katana, you will need to have unlocked the mountaintops of the giants, which is pretty far into the game. You'll need to be able to get the Grand Lift of Rold here. Then you'll kind of just navigate your way across these rocks, all the way up through here. There's a couple different ways where you can go. You can go across this bridge here, across this bridge, and then down into the ice area, which is going to allow you to come down through here to the First Church of Marika. There's a big boss in here that you just want to run past. Then you can run up along through here with the Withering blah, 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 blah road, and then across this bridge to the Giant's Grave Post. We're going to run up along these edges past all of the giants until you get up to the Church of Repose. And as you get to this particular area, a dude bro will spawn, And you need to murder that dude. He is using the Rivers of Blood katana, so don't let him explode your face to death. Defeat this guy, and you will get the Rivers of Blood katana, as well as like a helmet thing that has his face on it, which is pretty cool. It's this one here, the Okina mask. It's a little creepy. Now, the Rivers of Blood katana is pretty self-explanatory. Slash things until they die, and that's really about it. I mean, it's about as straightforward as a weapon goes. It's incredibly flashy and quite fun to use. Although I kind of wish I hadn't gotten rid of most of my mind when I decided to start using this weapon, because it actually does plow through FP. But even if you're just using it as a standard just weapon, it does really good damage even without all the other effects. And it does add like this blood flame effect to the blade already, which is pretty darn cool. And yeah, even without using the FP, it's just really, really great. Now, I will be doing a follow-up video to this where we go over an actual, like, true vampire lifesteal build, which is pretty ridiculous. But I do hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.